Every single day, I get yelled at for my clothes. I don't listen to them. I still wear the miniest things I can and the most low cut things, boobs out, proud. An actual boyfriend or girlfriend. They have to come to family dinner. And then everybody votes.
Wow, a vote.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them have never been broken up with. So it's kind of fun doing all the breaking up.
And you did what you had to do. Didn't let the fear stop you.
I was supposed to have a life that was this small, and I wanted a life that was this big.
So looking back at that 25-year-old, what would you tell her now?
Run!
Get
Run, bitch, run!
Do you think you'll ever get to a point where you forgive him in a way?
Truth has power. Truth wins. To my friends, my family, and meditation, I would not be here if not for those three things.
I think we need another TV show. I think we need your reinvention.
Let me first get out of this divorce and then we'll see.
I'm already calling Netflix. I'm like, let's get this going. Let's get this going. What happens when you decide to blow up the rule book and rewrite your entire life on your own terms? Today, I'm sitting down with Julia Haart. Yes, that Julia Haart. The woman who went from a strict ultra-Orthodox community to building a global fashion empire, starring in a hit Netflix series and refusing to apologize for any of it. We're diving into reinvention at any age, owning your power when everyone doubts you, and creating a midlife that's anything but quiet. If you've ever wondered what it really takes to start over and build an iconic second act, this episode will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about midlife. Welcome to the Iconic Midlife. How's your day going so far?
Wonderful.
Good. You've been busy. I've been watching you on Instagram and doing all the things. What's kind of lighting your fire right now?
Freedom. I am almost divorced. I think if we manage to keep it within the time frame, my last appearance in divorce court should be September 12th. So, hopefully, the judge, then has to issue the written decision, but that generally happens within, I think, 60 days is the timeline. So somewhere between September and November, I'm going to be a free woman.
Ooh, okay. What is the first
So
thing you
excited.
are going to do when you step out of court that day or when you hear the final of everything? What
Well,
is the
hopefully, I'll
first
be
thing?
screaming like a banshee, jumping up and down, so excited with everything that I've won and that justice has been served, and that finally, after all these years of fighting, the world actually knows, what a criminal this guy is, and just what was done to me and how much was taken out of the companies and all of that. So it's not just freedom, it's vindication, it's justice, it's truth winning over lies. I mean, it's a big deal. And I think, not to be speaking on behalf of other women, but I do, so many women have come over to me saying, we're in the middle of nasty divorce. We're like, mine may be very public and a bit outrageous in the sense that, 3.5 years ago, Sylvia accused me of everything. I think I got accused of everything but witchcraft. Like anything that's ever been thrown at a woman, con artist, seductress. I didn't even know that was still a thing. Um, he accused me of misappropriating funds, stealing from the company, stealing the car that I actually paid for with my own premarital money. I mean, it was very crazy. And now here we are. There's two arrest warrants out for him. Hopefully, there will be a third soon. Um, he's fled the country. His passport has been taken away. His license has been revoked. If he tries to enter the country, he'd be arrested, I guess, at customs. um, you know, the world knows that he's the bad guy. And that means a lot to me because for a while there, it was pretty ugly. And I like when truth wins. I like when justice wins. And I think for a lot of women, seeing that you can win, seeing that you can come out better if you stay and fight, and it is very difficult, and it's certainly they don't make it easy for you as a woman, no doubt. I don't think any of this would have happened if I had with a guy, but it's okay. So I think my win is not just a win for me. I think it has already, the part that I've already won has inspired so many women. I get messages all the time and DMs like, I was going to give up. I was about to give my husband everything he asked for. You've given me courage and faith to keep fighting. So hopefully, when the big one happens, that will really inspire other women to keep fighting, to stand their ground. They know that what they're saying is true. Truth has power, truth wins. So, yeah, that's what I'm really ecstatically excited about. I want to be free.
Yes.
Freedom.
Freedom. I think you are very due for a freedom party, like at the end of all
Yes.
this.
Oh my God. You know what I'm going to do? I've been talking about this now for literally 3 years. This is because I didn't think it was going to take this long, obviously, because I mean, I thought people would see through it immediately. When the first thing started and he was making all these accusations, like, no one's going to believe this. I mean, there's a bajillion documents that show everything I've done. Didn't seem to matter. Four men against one woman. I didn't stand a chance. Of course, until the documents were ready. But you see, look, it took 3 years for discovery. 3 years. You have to survive those 3 years. You have to make it through those 3 years. So, standing here today at the cusp of freedom feels really good. Oh, so my party that I forgot, I got off track.
Right.
So I've been talking about celebrating this for a really long time. Um, I went, so, my pop culture knowledge is growing, but still not perfect. And so I went to this exhibit a few years ago at the Brooklyn Museum about Studio 54. And I'd never heard of Studio 54. I didn't know what Studio 54 was. How would I would lived in Muncie, right? That's so when I first saw it and the way that it was portrayed in the Brooklyn Museum was this celebration of individuality and laissez-faire, right? Where people don't judge each people don't judge each other. People come as they truly are. And there was this, and I'm sure there was a lot of bad things that went on there. I know I was presented with a very idealized version of Studio 54. Like I know there was drugs and all that stuff, but from this perspective of, come as you are, anything goes, be yourself. I love that idea. I am 54. So I decided for my freedom party, I'm going to recreate Studio 54.
How
There's
fun.
actually two living singers that I know of who performed in Studio 54 who are still performing today. And hopefully, once this is done, I will convince one of them to come and sing and perform at our Studio 54 party. And it's just going to be this big freedom party.
God, that is so well
So that's the
deserved.
plan,
Yes, yeah,
right?
that's
That's the plan.
that is the plan. That is like the goal of this whole the end of all of this. But when you're kind of in the thick of this, because I know a lot of especially midlife women are going through divorces, some contentious,
Millions.
all these crazy things. How are you getting through this when you know the truth? Like you inside know the
Oh,
but no one else does. Like you feel like nobody else. So how do you get through that?
it's so crazy. It's such a good question because I think people don't, when you're outside of it, of course, you don't feeling the same thing that the person who's going through the experience feels. But that feeling that you're speaking the truth and you have mountains of evidence to back it up and nobody listens and nobody believes you and no one hears it because you're the woman and and the man over there has his three buddies saying, oh yes, he's telling the truth. Four men against one woman. I mean, it's not a fair fight, right? And it's so painful. And you feel like everything I've been through, and I fought so hard, and no one gave me anything. Let's just be honest here. I walked out of community. I didn't have a degree. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anyone. I built myself and my businesses with zero, literally zero. I started as a non human entity in the 21st century. No one had ever heard of me. And everything I built in 11 years, I built, in within from 2019 to 2022, I built $1 billion business. And that's not Julia Hart saying it. There was a bank who said this is $1 billion business. We had an offer at 500 million. Like these are facts, right? To have done all of that and accomplished all of that and just have a man saying shopping. And that's all it took. That's all it took.
God.
I mean, it could have killed me. And I know for a fact that he thought it would, right? Our first whistleblower that came forward, she told us that he and his, little co-conspirator group would sit there talking about how is she still doing it? How is she still alive? How is she still surviving? They all thought that I would fold. They thought they would accuse me of everything under the sun, destroy my reputation, and that they'd never have to prove anything because I wouldn't last long enough for them to need discovery. I wouldn't last long enough for it to get to the point where they actually had to prove the accusations they were making. They were asking how I'm surviving in November of 2022. We're in September of 2025. I had to make it all the way to May of 2024 before discovery became an issue. And that's when he disappeared. When he could no longer hide the truth, and we finally got access to the bank accounts, he disappeared.
Convenient. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not convenient. He fled the country, literally fled the country. You know, so um, he never thought he'd have to prove anything. And the only way I survived, I would say, is threefold. And look, when I left my community, I did it by myself. I did it on my own. I didn't know anyone. I didn't tell anyone. I was terrified that if I told my friends, they would tell my husband or a rabbi and they'd take away my kids. I didn't tell a single human being. I did it on my own. This time, when disaster struck, I wasn't alone. My kids are adults. And if I tell you that I am standing here a winner today because of my children, especially my son Shlomo. This was really his time to shine. He had a full scholarship to a very fancy law school in Washington, D.C. Full ride. He had a fabulous penthouse in the Upper East Side. He had a good life. And when the shit hit the fan, my son decided he was not going to go to law school, uh, did not renew his lease, moved in, and said, I am not leaving until we win. And he stood next to me every single day. And when I was down and I felt like, how can this be happening? And I wanted to just fall apart, he would remind me what we had gone through and how far we'd come. And he just held me up. And, my daughters, of course, Batsheva, I mean, everyone, they were just there in every imaginable way. And you need your family. You need your friends. My friends, you know who your real friends are when the shit hits the fan. And I have to tell you, I was completely wrong about so many people. The people that I thought would stand behind me no matter what, and the people that I thought were my friends, they were newer friends or friends I had made once I was already famous. I wasn't sure, are they my friends because it's cool to be my friend, or oh my gosh, the outpouring of real love that I received, the amount of support, like as an example, like my friend Jill Zarin, even in the beginning when everybody, every paper you read, I was the con artist, I was a thief, I was a this, she came out publicly. She would post about me. Anytime people ask Julie, I don't believe any of this, Julie's the most honest person I know. Like, that is not an easy thing to do, and so I would say friends, family, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, meditation.
Oh. Were you a meditator before then, or was that new?
No. Not only was I not a meditator, I was vehemently closed off from even hearing about it because I thought it was another religion. Like whenever someone say, "Oh, you need to do this and this meditation," I'm like, "No, sorry. I've had enough religion to last me 9 million lifetimes. Do not talk to me about religion." And that's what it felt like to me. It felt like just another version of religion. Then what I love about Dr. Joe Dispenza is that it's not religion. It's not a just believe. You're not just supposed to believe what this man says. He never puts out he's not a guru or a rabbi or someone you have to follow or an intermediary to speak to God. He's a scientist. He's a doctor. And it's so much science I think, science, there's all of these new disciplines that didn't exist 20 years ago, right? That understand the correlation between mind body, that you have receptors, you have neural receptors in your immune system and you have immunoreceptors in your brain. The, the way we understood our body was wrong, right? And everything is interconnected. There's an amazing book called Molecules of Emotion that kind of explain how scientifically you could prove that how you think and feel could actually change your body. And what it's really about more than meditation, it's about self mastery. And I guess what it does more than anything is it puts you in control. Now, you can't necessarily control everything that happens to you on the outside, but you can choose how you feel about it on the inside. And when you realize that feeling good just feels good, even when you have no reason to feel good, even if your life is absolute fucking hell and everything is going wrong and you can't pay your mortgage and people are accusing you and your husband stole everything from you and whatever you have, if you can find a way to feel good, then then no one can ever mess with you. You have to be solid on the inside. And that's what, Dr. Joe's method really teaches you, that if you can find a way to find joy when there really externally doesn't seem to be much joy or much reason for joy, those things are going to still be there, but your energy isn't there. It's towards a better future. And it brings that better future towards you. And it's literally, they're proving this scientifically with data. So I think those three things, my friends, my family, and meditation, those three things gave me the strength to survive. I would not be here if not for those three things.
Those are all very powerful things to have in your life. And, I think a lot of women, especially in this time frame of life, maybe they want to reinvent. Maybe they want to change careers. Maybe they want to divorce that asshole that they're married to, but they feel stuck. It's like this thing
And
where they're
afraid.
and
They're
afraid.
afraid.
Yes. And
They're
the
afraid.
fear and the
It's
fear.
the
And
fear.
yes. And how do you overcome that? How do you become unstuck?
Fear. Okay. So somewhere, I don't know how this has become like the human, that if you don't worry or stress about something, then it's just going to get worse. Like this whole idea of preempting disaster, right? Think about it. Let's say you're afraid you're going to lose your case, for example, or you're afraid you're not going to be able to survive financially if you leave your husband. What you're basically doing is projecting the worst possible scenario into the future and then emotionally attaching yourself to that worst possible scenario, thinking that if you do that, then you're like prepared. Here's the thing, you can never be prepared. No matter how much you think you're prepared for disaster, when it strikes, you're not prepared. And preempting it and feeling all that stress before something happens, it doesn't do anything. Fear is the dumbest thing there is. Fear is the killer of hope. It is the killer of dreams. It is the killer of your future. Fear of the unknown. You're never going to change anything in your life if you operate from fear. And I think that the only way, I was full of fear. I was so full of fear that from the day I left my community until, I would say, January 2024, somewhere around there, I woke up every day into a panic attack. Literally would wake up inside a panic attack, heart pounding like this, covered in sweat, always terrified that someone was going to take away my business, was going to steal what I did, that some guy would find a way to take everything I had built. And then what ended up happening? Exactly what I was afraid of. Some guy comes and takes away everything I did. And there it is. And how did all of that panic and disaster help me? It didn't. I wake up excited every day, even though obviously my divorce isn't over. My husband has not abided by any of the court rulings. There are now 9 court orders that he's just completely patently ignored. And I have to wait until my final judgment to go and actually be able to actuate everything that's happened. And it's not easy. It's been really hard. Um, I'm not afraid. I'm excited. I'm excited for my future. I'm excited for what's coming next. I can't wait to be free. And that's what I choose to focus on. And you, if you tell yourself, I'm not going to be afraid, it's not going to work. It's like someone says to you, don't think about elephants. What's the first thing you do? You think about elephants.
Right.
So the way to get rid of fear is not to decide you don't want to be afraid of it anymore. The way to get rid of fear is to replace it with something else. So when you're feeling afraid, say to yourself, and pushing it down and saying, no, 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 I'm not afraid. That's not going to work either. You're just holding and storing it in. Talk to yourself about it. Okay, Julia, what is it that you're afraid of? Say it out loud. And then say, well, that's not really a logical fear because X, because Y, because Z, because, and then let it go. Let it go. Choose to feel like you're going to win before you win. And that's the only way. And I had to change 11 years of behavior and not be in a constant state of panic. And here I am, and my body feels good. I feel good. I feel strong because I know Silvio can't touch what's in here.
I mean, if you're not there at this point yet, do you think you'll ever get to a point where you kind of you forgive him in a way for just all the awful.
So it's funny, I don't really think it's a matter of forgiveness. Um, it would be, do I hate him? I think is like meaning when I think of him, do I feel hate in my heart? And I know this is going to sound really weird because I kind of wish I did because that would be normal.
Right,
Like,
right. For all the
yeah,
shit that he pulled, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I should hate him. But when I think about him, what I honestly feel, I want justice. I want to get everything that I deserve. You know, going into court and asking for 100% of everything because he's taken out so much money that he really can't have equity in the company. That's our position. And we'll wait, obviously, and see what the judge says. But uh, so obviously, I absolutely want justice. I want him to pay. And if there were crimes committed, I want him to pay for those as well. But it's a feeling of justice. When I think about him as a person, I kind of just pity him. I kind of feel like his whole life has been about him, his needs, his desires, his wants. Don't think he has many friends. All the friends that I knew about, they've left him. Um, what kind of life is it to live so selfishly that your only consideration, the only factor you think about when you make a decision is yourself? That to me is not a life. So when I think about him, yes, I think I would like justice. I want to get what I deserve. I don't hate him. I pity him. I pity a person whose life is that small and that narrow. Like who's gonna cry when he dies?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, you know?
That to me is like people say, oh, do you wish he would? No, I don't wish he was dead. Not at all. No.
How do your kids feel about him?
I think we kind of all feel the same way. It's just that, like, you know, hate only affects the person feeling it. Why should we exert energy and effort to hate? I have plenty of other things to do in my life. I don't have time for hate. It doesn't solve anything. It certainly doesn't make me feel better because then I have to relive all the things he's done so that I can keep hating him. I don't want to do that. That's the past. I want I want there to be justice. I want him to consequences for his actions, legal consequences for his actions. I want the court to uphold the law. Just because he's a man and he's, wealthy by using my company's money doesn't mean he gets away with things. Wealth is not an excuse. Laws have to apply to you too, and all of that. So I'm very passionate about getting justice. But when I think of him as a person, I just kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah. You know what, too? You also strike me as a kind of person that no matter what kind of comes your way, you're able to take it, process it, leave it where it needs to leave and continue and continue.
Exactly. You got to let it go. How can you go forward if you're literally, forget about luggage. You've got a 400-pound weight of past trauma you're carrying with you. You're not going too far. You've got to let it go. And I know it feels good, and people define themselves by their trauma, right? I did. I went through this and I suffered through that and I did this and this happened to me and this happened to me. If we define ourselves by our trauma, which is so easy to do and it feels good, it's comfortable. We come, oh, poor me, just terrible things happen to me. It's not fair. And and it just doesn't do anything for you. However, telling yourself every day, I am strong, I am a winner, the truth will come out, justice will happen. You know what that does? It makes you feel good every day. You can't go and change your life if you're dragging your old life with you. You can't have a future that's different than your past if you're bringing your past into your future. It's just that simple.
It's just that simple.
It's hard. I mean,
It feels like you have the tools because, you kind of went through this very sort of oppressive, like a very big, leaving of what you knew in your 40s. Then you kind of go through this whole like nasty divorce. And it's like it's like you innately have those tools to kind of get through the shit that comes in your life, you know?
100%. And it was really different this time because for the first time in my life, I wasn't alone. I had people who stood there with me and held me. And, I say, I divide, when you're talking about dating and relationships, people into gardeners and flowers. Gardeners are nurturers, they're caregivers. They water, they take care. They're the ones who make sure that you're happy. They think about other people. And then there are flowers. Flowers say, I'm just beautiful because I exist. Give me, give me, give me water, water, water. Give me sun, give me this, give me that, right? I've been a gardener my whole life. I was raised to be a gardener. I'm the eldest of 8 children, and I raised a lot of my siblings. I have raised around 10 human beings in my life. So it's a lot of people, right? And so my whole life, and then of course in my community, I was trained to be a gardener. Women, their job is to give. So I've been a gardener my whole life. And I've married flowers, right? Sylvia, only child. Now, of course, it doesn't necessarily make you a flower. There's wonderful people who are only children. But if you're an only child and you are a child of more elderly parents and no one ever taught you how to share your toys, and the world revolved around you as you were growing up, as an adult, you still think the world revolves around you, And, I think what I've learned from all of this is yes, I'm going to be a gardener from the rest of my life, but now I'm going to look for someone who gardens back.
Mm. And how is that garden looking, by the way?
God.
How is the dating
Honestly,
world out
I'm just
there?
having fun.
Oh,
Like, I know a lot of people complain about dating, and I get it. And I hear them. I think they just want different things than me, meaning, you know, I've built a very successful company. At the end of this divorce, when I have the judgment and I can actually enforce things, there's a lot of, thank God, financial success so I don't need to be supported or taken care of or blah, 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 right? And I I'm 54, but I left my community. It'll be November, 12 years, right? So I'm kind of like in my 30s and where I am in life because I've only been working for 12 years. I'm kind of like a college student that walked out, works for 12 years. You're in your mid 30s.
Right.
So I tend to date guys late 20s to mid 30s because they're my energy level. Like, unfortunately, and of course, again, I do not want to make any generalizations. I'm sure there are men in their 50s who are fabulous. A lot of men in their 50s have been working for 30 years. They're tired. They want to golf, they want to play tennis, they want to travel, they're retired, they want to move to Palm Beach. I don't know. That is not for me. I'm just getting started. I've got three businesses that we're building. I have so many plans and things that I want to create and ways that I think I can make women's lives better and things that I want to do. And I'm so excited about all of that. So I kind of date young guys. Um, most of them, again, this sounds kind of funny, but I've never been broken up with. So it's kind of fun doing all the breaking up. Most guys last somewhere between 3 weeks and 3 months. I think the longest person has lasted 3 months. And then I get, I don't know, bored or I don't know, whatever. Um, so right now I'm just having so much fun. I'm dating really cool people who are young and passionate and excited about life and the future. And then I go to the next really fun and exciting. So,
Why not? It's like an ice cream shop.
I've never had this. Like, I just started dating for the first time in my life. When I left my community, I was in my 40s. And I would say the first year wasn't dating. It was more like, oh, wow, sex is amazing. Let's have sex. It was like more sexual exploration. And then I met a guy who became my boyfriend. And after I broke up with him, you know, 6 months went when I just didn't do anything. And then I met my husband. So I've never actually dated in my entire life, like ever. So I started dating for the first time in my life in my 50s. So, like, I guess what people do when they start dating in high school is kind of what I'm doing now.
Right.
It really is.
I think, too, we have a common friend, you and I, and she had a very fulfilling, like, dating life, dating younger men. And she really,
I
like,
love it.
I love it. And I think it's great. And she's also in her 50s. And it's like, why not?
Why not? Who said that we have to date older men? I don't want to date older men. I want someone who is still excited about life. And honestly, I prefer someone, you know, who is less financially successful than I am, to be honest, because, I think wealthy, successful women have more empathy, don't think they're God. And again, no generalizations, because I have met some incredibly successful men who are really good people who are trying to do good for the world. So again, no, I don't like generalization. However, when you're younger and you don't have your success yet, it is more likely that you don't think you're God. It is more likely that you're going to treat a woman as an equal. And that's what I have found. Guys that age are incredibly respectful. As they've also been brought up in a world that's more respectful to women. So they're less likely to be misogynistic and patriarchal. So, you know, I mean, I love it. I am super happy. Now, do I eventually want to find someone to live with for the rest of my life? Sure. I believe in love. I'm a happy person. I like giving to people. I like having someone to love. That's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. Sure. Great. Do I need to put a marriage contract on it at my age? Absolutely not. I would prefer someone wake up every morning and choose me.
Mm, that's what you want.
That's what I want.
That's the feeling.
I want someone to choose me every morning.
To not have to be there, to want to be there.
Exactly. I don't want them to be legally responsible to love me. I want them to love me because they love me. And I want to feel the same. I want to wake up every morning feeling grateful that this incredible human being is next to me and choosing to be with him, So to me, when you're younger, I think marriage is important. I do. I think your children, especially if you want to have children, I think children, it's a sense of comfort and security knowing that both your parents are legally required to show up. I think that's nice. Whatever the family structure is, I don't think it really matters. And it's just that you want it to be legal, right? You want there to be a piece of paper that says mommy and daddy have, or mommy and mommy, or daddy and daddy, or whatever your family dynamic is, you want them to legally have to show up. But in my age, I've had my kids, obviously not having any more children. I just want someone who loves me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the goal. And how vocal are the kids when you're dating somebody? Are they giving you advice? Or are they kind of like,
Oh, they're the best. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. So first of all, Batsheva is my dating guru.
okay,
She for sure knows a lot more about dating than I do. And so whenever I'm not sure of something, or I feel like, I don't think this is appropriate, or not sure this is correct, I'll fact check with her. I'll be like, Batsheva, is this a normal thing for someone to do? Because I don't really know. I really didn't ever date. I don't know. So that's one. Number two, because of what happened with Silvio, um, I don't necessarily trust my judgment so much when it comes to guys because I am very trusting. I'm nice. I'm nice. I see the best in people, and you know, they warned me about Silvio. They saw something in him, and
oh,
I
they
told them they did.
did.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And I said, oh, no, no, no. You guys are wrong. You don't like him because he's not Jewish. That's what I thought.
okay.
But I was wrong. Everything they said came to pass. Everything. They were on the money 100%. And that's the problem when we get emotionally attached to someone and there's a strong physical and emotional connection, right? When that happens, we're not really rational and we ignore signs that we see and we know, but we just push them back because we don't want to see and we don't want to know. So we now have a rule in the family, and we have really stuck to it. And the rule is very simple. If any of us, me or any of the kids, meet someone that they think this could be real, like an actual boyfriend or girlfriend, they have to come to family dinner. And then everybody votes.
Wow. A vote.
Yes,
Okay.
votes. Everybody votes. And if the family does not like the person, they're out. And I literally had that happen. I was dating this guy and I was like, maybe, like, maybe I would actually, because most guys I kind of break up with in that 3 week, 3 to 4 week period.
You had crossed
And I
the
was like,
3 weeks at this point,
I
right?
crossed that
Okay.
3 weeks. And I was like, actually, maybe he could actually be my boyfriend. So let me introduce him to my kids. I brought him over. All four of my kids were like, absolutely not.
Oh,
And I broke up with him that night. Broke up with
really?
him immediately. I did. Broke up with
Oh,
him immediately.
wow. So you guys do the vote at the dinner, like right after the dinner.
After, right after dinner, when it's fresh in your mind, we do the
Okay.
vote. And so that no one can convince anyone else. So it's your own opinion as of. And we did the same thing with, other ones of my kids. I mean, we've literally, because my kids want me to be happy. They don't care if a person's younger. They're lovely to everybody. They totally understand why I date younger guys. And in fact, they've set me up with younger guys. Like, it's not, they're super open to it. They just want their mom to be happy. And I know that. Like, they know I'm not going to have any more children. So they're never going to be supplanted. There's not going to, they are my kids. Um, and so I trust them and they trust me. And so I think this is really safe because when you get emotionally attached to someone and you ignore all the warning signs, somebody has to be the one saying, watch out. Did you see this or did you see that? And yeah, so now I don't have to make those decisions by myself anymore. We do it as a family. It's a take us all or leave us all. You get one of us, you get all of us.
See, and if a guy can live through that and can thrive through that, I mean, that's the guy right there. I
There
mean,
you go.
there you
That's
go.
the guy.
So I would imagine Batsheva is a pretty good wing woman too when you're out.
We never go out together because it's dating wise only accidentally, meaning a couple of times we actually had dates and we went to the same
No, you
place.
didn't. Oh my God.
Yeah, we did. But so that happened twice, but totally inadvertently. Otherwise, it's kind of awkward because sometimes we don't know who the guy is interested in. We've kind of created a system. So like we don't go out together, but like sometimes let's say we're on a trip or we're going out, as a family or we're flying somewhere or whatever, and some guy comes and starts flirting and we're not sure who he's interested in. We figured out a way to figure it out because We ask his age. Now, here's the trick. If he said, let's say we say, how old are you? If he says, I'm 31 years old, he's interested in butt shovel. If he says, I'm almost 32, or how old do you want me to be? He's interested in me. So if he's trying to make himself older or not giving a direct answer, he's interested in me. If he gives his age correctly, then he's interested in butt. And it works every time. It's a foolproof system.
Oh my, have you guys ever liked the same guy?
No, God, no. First of all, if my daughter likes him, she gets first dibs. Like I'm having fun. She's dating to, get married and have a family. So like, I don't care. Like, forget. I'll find five other people. Don't worry. Like, it's not.
Right.
It's fine. So no, no, no. But Sheva, absolutely. But we've never had that. Like, because the guys that she's dating are men who want to start families. Are dating for serious things. The guys I'm dating are having fun. Like, we're having fun. I generally start off dates if I think there'll be a date too. I always put it out there. Like, my track record is around 3 weeks. And if you're okay with that, I'm very open and straightforward, and no one seems to mind, and it's been great. And of course, one day if I meet someone who can last longer than 3 weeks, great.
It sounds like the dream. I mean, what guy is not going to love that?
Yeah, why not? So it's a very different kind of person that we're dating. So we've never actually had a situation where we both like the same person. And again, if she would ever tell me, or if we would even see someone, I would say, "Oh, he's cute," and she'd say, "I like him," I would absolutely say yours. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not serious about it, so it's fine.
Totally. And now when everything is all said and done, hopefully on the 12th or soon thereafter, yes, we're like
Yeah, it's gonna
putting
be
it out
soon
there,
thereafter because he
putting it
still
out
has
there.
to. The
Yeah.
judge has to write the decision. So
Oh
if
gosh.
I'm lucky, it's like 2, 3 weeks later.
Okay. And
Please
then
God.
hopefully by the
And then
holidays, right?
freedom,
Yes,
freedom.
freedom.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Julia, I'm
Can't
like so
wait. I
excited
can't
for you.
wait.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be I think we need another TV show. I think we need like
Well,
your reinvention.
I just before we even talk about that, let me first get out of this divorce and then we'll see.
No, I'm already like calling Netflix. I'm like, Let's get this going. Let's get this going." No, but there is something so powerful. So, what do you, with all this energy that you're going to have, like, hopefully, all this good stuff? I know you've got all these other brands going. What else is like coming down the pipeline for you? Is there anything?
Well, my kids and I have invented something that I think is really extraordinary, and a massive game changer. I can't really say more than that, but that is going to be Body by Julia, our shapewear brand, which I love so much, and thank God it's doing so well. And this new invention thing, that's going to be our focus. So excited. I can't, I mean, every time I think about it, I just want to jump up and down like a little kid because I really think it's going to help so many people. And anyway, so I just want to start it already. It's so frustrating. I want to start it today, but it's okay. It's okay.
But
It's okay.
I mean, you've got a lot going with the shapewear line. I love the shapewear, by the way. It's so sexy,
Thank you.
so fun. And I think it's important to make it like that, to give it that
Well,
sexy kind of.
also what's coming now, we just got, all the tariffs kind of delayed stuff, but hopefully in a month or so, it'll be online. Right now, I don't think you can buy anything on our website. I think everything is sold out. But in a few weeks, we're actually bringing to women a hybrid of bra, shirt, and shapewear in one garment. We've made t-shirts, tank tops, camisoles, bodysuits, long sleeve shirts with your bra built inside and slightly shaping. So instead of having to wear 3 layers, you wear one, you pay for one. And it's a shirt or a tank top or a t-shirt or a camisole or bodysuit that's not just by your dress size, but by your cup size. So you
Oh.
can buy a size medium shirt with a double D or a size medium shirt with an A.
Oh, so you can pick the cup. It can be any cup.
Any cup. We go from A to double F.
Oh my goodness, that's genius. And it tucks, it holds it in.
Everything. So it smooths you out. It's made for day-to-day wear. It smooths you out, but it's not like you're dying. So it's smoothing, but your bra's in there. You wear one garment, one thing. And guess what? What does every woman on earth, I've never met someone who told me that they don't do this. If you're wearing a bra with hooks, the first thing you do when you get home is unhook it because that strap is so freaking painful. Well, guess what? Our bras don't have straps because we're using the body of the clothing to hold the cups in place. No straps, no discomfort. And because it's slightly shapewear, right? It holds everything in place. So I'm 54 years old. I have a double D cup. And I mean, I'm going to be honest, my boobs travel. Like they don't stay in one place. They're not these, they're not the perky 20-year-old boobs I had 30 years ago. They're just not. With this, without a bra, just with the shirt, everything stays in place. Nothing moves. And I have fallen asleep in my clothes because they're so comfortable that like it's so insanely comfortable and it looks beautiful. So everybody, I mean, it's kind of one of the models who works for us because I also own EWG told me, Julia, it's lipo, tummy tuck, and boob job in an outfit because it really does. It shapes you. It makes your breast look perfect because you're wearing a bra that fits you. No discomfort. You're not wearing three layers. There's no lines anywhere. It's one thing, and it's all of those encompassed. So I cannot wait till we've gotten it. It's arrived in America, so now we just have to photograph it and blah 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 blah, and then we'll put it up on our website. And I think people are going to go crazy because it is beautiful and comfortable and makes you look absolutely magnificent. And I'm beyond excited about it.
Oh my gosh. And well, I mean, if you can fall asleep in it, that's the true test of like comfort and
No, yeah, you'll see. I mean, people, we haven't obviously sold any because we haven't put them in our store yet, but we've gifted some to models who try clothes on all the time because they're the best to me. Like they've tried everything, you know, and we haven't had a single instance where at the end of a photo shoot, someone didn't say to us, "Can I take it home? Do I have to take it off?" You just don't want to take it off. It's so freaking comfortable. It's crazy. And then hopefully for we're also working on creating swimwear, shapewear swimwear. It'll look like a bathing suit. It'll feel like a bathing suit, except it will be your bra size and it will shape you.
that's the dream, right? When you step out on the beach.
And then next year, we're going to launch bridal wear. We're going to make wedding gowns with your shapewear and your bra
Really?
built inside. Yes.
Because
So you
you
can
know
actually enjoy your own
yes.
wedding.
Yes,
You know
because
how many women are dying on
yes.
the inside? They're wearing 40 layers. They can't go to the
Oh,
bathroom.
can't go to the
They're
bathroom.
so uncomfortable. They're wearing their bra. They're wearing massive shapewear. Then they're wearing their dress, which has generally several layers. It's ridiculous. This is a zip and go. Your bra will be in your dress. The shapewear will be in your dress. And you'll never know. It'll be lace and light, and you'll never know because of our technology. You can't tell that it's shapewear. You can't tell that there's anything shaping in there. It looks like regular clothes. We can color it. We can make patterns and lace. We actually have a lace collection coming. It's a full lace collection with the bra built in, and again, the shapewear in lace. Like, yeah. So there's a lot of exciting things coming with Body by Julia. Um, and yeah, I just need this divorce to be done.
Yes. This is the one thing. Once you're like through that, I mean, it seems like it's
Yeah.
just
It's up and away,
yes,
baby.
it's up and away.
Let's
It's
change the world together.
God, yes, right? I mean, now's the time.
That's
Now's
the
the
goal.
time. How has I know you've been through all of these different things, but in general, how has midlife treated you?
I don't know what midlife is.
You're kind of a preemie still, basically.
I tell people like I'm 54 and I'm also 11.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that I haven't done that people did when they were 17. Like they had their first love when in high school, or they went to prom and had their. I didn't do any of those things. You know what I mean? I never went to prom. I never had a boyfriend in high school or college. Like there's just my story is so weird that I don't, I'm not in midlife where I am. I'm kind of at the beginning of this new life. That's what it feels like. To me, my midlife feels like the beginning of my new life.
It is. It really is. Looking back, I mean, I know at 25 years old, you were probably in the thick of like raising children and you were in that marriage and living in a
By
very
25, I'd had 4 pregnancies because I miscarried 10 times. I've had 10 miscarriages.
10
I've
mis.
been pregnant. I've been pregnant 14 times.
Oh my God. The little cute teeny time. My God,
Yeah, not
14.
so fun. 14
14,
times.
10 miscarriages.
By 25, I had 4 miscarriages and 2 kids.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. I mean, what so looking back at that 25-year-old, what would you tell her now? Like what words of
Run!
advice? Get the
Run, witch,
fuck out.
run!
Don't stop. Just keep
Why did
going.
it take me till I was 42 to leave? What? Why did I mean, okay, it's okay.
Were those little things bubbling up already at that age for you though? Like at
Oh my
25?
God, since I was 11 and we moved in there, things were bubbling because who I was supposed to be and who I actually was, they didn't correlate. There's no, I was supposed to be meek and mild and quiet and retiring, and I wasn't supposed to understand things, and I was supposed to look up men that smarter than me and more knowledgeable than I was. None of that works with my personality. I am not meek and mild or quiet. I know that most of I'm not a stupid person. Let's just put it that way. I have a pretty decent IQ. Done pretty well for myself without literally any degree or knowledge at all whatsoever. I'm a full self-taught, self-made person. So none of the things I was supposed to be were the things I actually was. And so that dichotomy between who I was told that God would love and who I actually was very difficult from the beginning. From day one, it was very hard for me. And I tried to fit into that mold, but there's just no meek and and there's just no meekness here. I'm not, I'm not this little shy flower. That is just not who I am. And so to have to be that was, a torture.
Yeah. God, I know trying to fit, a square peg in a round hole. I mean, it
But it
just
was a it was a it was a giant square into a hole this big, right? So it wasn't even that the size of it, it was just that I was supposed to have a life that was this small, and I wanted a life that was this big.
and you did what you had to do, and you didn't let the fear stop you, which is
I didn't let the fear stop me.
what was that first step? Like what in your head did you tell yourself?
I think the first step for any person who wants to change is to give yourself permission to do so and to acknowledge that you're not happy, not because of who you are, but because of the situation you're in. And women, very often, we make excuses. We're great at becoming used to difficult things, to painful things. We are, uh, we manage, we survive, right? We're able to live and find joy in the most difficult of circumstances. And so to be able to say to yourself, I deserve more. I'm not happy. I want my life to change. And then give yourself permission that this doesn't make you a bad person, that the life you're living doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you a bad person that you want more. It doesn't make you a bad person that you want fulfillment. You have to acknowledge in your heart and give yourself permission to want more, to demand more. And once you do that, the rest is just step by step. If that first step is the hardest, to acknowledge that you have a right and that you deserve to have a better life.
And let go of the shame and the fear because that's
Yeah, that's it. Because well, of course, fear, I mean, again, and it serves, maybe fear was useful when we were running from like evil, monstrous dinosaurs, whatever, who were munching us for lunch. But in today's day and age, unless, of course, you live in a place where there's a lot of physical danger, which unfortunately in many areas of our country, as we know, there's a lot of crime and all of that. But generally in your day to day, if you're living in a safe city or a safe community, the things that we're afraid of are not tangible. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of losing. We're afraid of being made fun of. The things that we're afraid of are not animals. They're not dinosaurs. They're insecurities to a large extent, right? And it doesn't, it serves no purpose. Ask yourself, how does my fear make my life better? And if the answer is, because of course fear doesn't make anyone's life better, look at that honestly, and you're going to see that the answer is it doesn't. So if you have something that you're doing that doesn't make your life better, why continue doing it? Fuck fear. Literally, just fuck fear.
Yes.
Who cares what people say?
Exactly. That's
Who
exactly.
cares?
Oh,
Who
who
cares? And
cares?
again, your voice has to be louder than everyone else because you know what? People don't like change. And people are very uncomfortable when you change. My kids got into Dr. Joe Dispenza and meditation, not because I talked to them about it and not because they saw me doing it, but because they saw the change in me. My two daughters, Batsheva and Miriam, actually came to me like a year ago. And they were like, okay, what drug are you on? And I was like, what? It's like, you're happy, you're confident, you're not stressed anymore. All this shit is going on. And you're like this joyous, like person. Like, what are you on? And I was like, nothing. I've just been meditating. And that's how I introduced them to Dr. Joe. And so they really came to it, not because I was doing it, but because of the change they saw in me. And I have people all the time who meet me who knew me from, pre Silvio, and they're like, you're a different person. And I really am. I'm a different person. And that makes some people uncomfortable because they're used to you being like X. And all of a sudden you're doing things that you wouldn't normally do. And everyone's like, this messes with my life, my worldview. Because we don't want people to change. When people change, your friends, some of them will be very excited for you. Many of them won't because it shows them that they could change too. And that gets them uncomfortable. And so they'd rather you fail because it's then an excuse why they don't have to do any changes or make any changes in their life. Then you'll have people who are just uncomfortable because they like everything to stay the same. They want to know that they know exactly what you think about every single thing. And I don't believe in any of that. I don't want to be the same person today that I am, that I will be a month from now. I don't want to be the same person I'll be a year from now. I want to constantly change. I want to constantly evolve. And when I learn new things, it changes opinions of mine and it puts me into different directions. And that's what makes life exciting. So who cares? You gotta just tune it all out. It's just noise, right? What does a football player do, right? They only see the ball and their teammates. There's millions of people screaming different things at them. You think they hear that while they're playing? No, they manage to tune everyone out. And that's what you have to do. You have to pretend you're on a football field, tune everyone else out, focus on the ball, focus on what you want, and go for that.
Make that be your goal and go for it. Really go for it, you know?
Go for it. And when people ask me how, I tell them the same answer that I say when people ask me how I wear such high heels. If I tell you how many times I ask, "Oh my gosh, how do you walk in those high heels?" I respond with right foot, left foot. And that's how you change to right foot, left foot. One step at a time. Stop worrying about 50 steps. Just do one step, then focus on the next step. And just one right foot, left foot. That's how you make any change. Right foot, left foot.
That's it. But one step at a time.
One step at a time.
So, Miss Julia, how are you living iconically right now?
How am I living iconically? I don't know. I think other people have to tell me that. I can't claim my. So this is how I am an icon. Well, what I would say is, I can tell you how I'm living authentically.
And which to me is iconic. That to me is
Well,
iconic.
I'm saying, but I don't. Yeah, I just don't feel comfortable saying. So this is the way I'm like, you know. But I'm just. I don't know. I just feel this massive sense of excitement Um, and this ridiculously strong conviction that I am going to make the world a better place. And I'm not going to give up until I do.
And that's it.
And that's exciting. It's exciting thinking that an action that one individual can take can change the course of other people's lives. And imagine if all women felt that way, if we all knew our own power, our own strength, our own ability to affect change. Imagine what we could do if women all over the world decided to get together and say enough.
Band together.
We'd be unstoppable, band together. We'd
Yes.
be literally unstoppable. So if every woman feels that they can make a difference, then we will make a difference. And I'm excited about the future. I really am. I'm just excited for I'm excited for the unknown. I like the unknown.
You like living in that place? You like to kind of not know?
I love living in that place where everything is new and different and you're learning and you're building and growing. And, we've invented these things that, we're hopefully going to show up to the world soon. I mean, who knows? But that's what makes it exciting. That's living.
It's not about the result, right? It's not always about the
Oh, I
result.
kind of like the
Oh,
result
yeah.
too.
I like it when it's
Let's be
successful.
honest. I like succeeding. I like the fact
Right.
that thank God so far I haven't started a company that hasn't succeeded, and that's awesome. Um, However, I've made a lot of mistakes too, and learned from them. So yes, I wanted to be massively successful, but the process is exciting.
Well, on the Iconic Midlife, we like to play a game at the end of the episode if you're game.
Go for it.
All
Absolutely.
right. So the name of this game is Unorthodox or Iconic. So
Ooh,
I'll
okay.
give you a series of statements, phrases, scenarios, and you say if you think it's unorthodox, which is bold and rebellious and unexpected, or iconic, genius, aspirational, or timeless. So,
Okay.
okay. Micro minis at 60 plus years old.
Unorthodox.
Okay. Okay. We do
I
like
mean, I
them.
do it all the time. I
Yeah.
get yelled at 24/7. Do you know that you can get rid of like certain words on your Instagram? Like, so that Instagram blocks certain words,
Oh, I
right?
didn't. So keywords, like keywords. Okay.
Keywords, so I had to keyword breasts, boobs, because I got so many comments every day. You're too old to be wearing such low cut things. I had to literally block the word. So I wish it was iconic. I think it should be iconic. I think you should wear whatever you want at any age. However, unfortunately, in today's culture, it's still unorthodox.
Yeah.
And we get attacked all the time.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Every single day, I get yelled at for my clothes. Every single day.
By the trolls, right? They just come out of
Yeah.
nowhere and yeah.
Yeah. And again, I don't listen to them. I still wear the miniest things I can and the most low cut things, boobs out, proud. But I wish it was iconic. It should be iconic. Unfortunately, it's still unorthodox.
Yes, that's a good point. We are going to change that though.
Make it iconic.
Yes. Yes. Quitting a marriage with no plan, just instinct.
Iconic.
Mhm. Just knowing, right? Just knowing and
Just
doing it.
knowing. When you know, you know.
You know. Absolutely. Shapewear that actually feels sexy.
That's definitely unorthodox.
Totally. You're changing that though. You are changing the game on that.
It will one day be
Yes.
iconic.
Yes. Sharing every detail of your life on reality TV.
Every detail.
I don't
Unorthodox.
We gotta keep some things like in the pocket, you know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when the cameras are rolling, I really let everything out because if I'm going to do it, if I'm going to help women, I have to show warts and all. My life, I can't pretend that my life is easy or perfect or blah, 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 blah. Like that one doesn't help anyone. People need to see you can make mistakes, you can have hard times, and you can still win. You can still come out ahead. You can still have your family. So, yeah, one day again, it will be iconic, but I think today it's unorthodox.
When you were filming the show, you were kind of going through the marriage too. So were they
Yeah,
creatively sort of editing around things or
no,
no, it was just how
no.
you saw it?
Well, the first season, we were still trying. I was still trying to find a way to be his wife. I just at a certain point I gave up because I tried everything I could to get him to understand that you can't prevent me from being and seeing my kids. I really did. I gave it my absolute all. And in the end, when the choice came, children versus him, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. I will choose my children over anyone at any time, no matter what. We are a package deal. If you cannot love my children, you do not get to love me. It's that simple.
Yes, 100%. I stand behind that. Um, Dating somebody 20 years younger.
Should be iconic,
Yes.
unfortunately unorthodox.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, taking ayahuasca to spark personal transformation.
I think I would vomit my entire guts out. I have such a sensitive stomach. Like getting in a car is a problem for me. So definitely not for me. Um, I don't know enough about it, honestly. I do. I don't. Is it illegal? Is it legal? I
I
don't
think
even
you
know.
have
Is
to
that a
like go somewhere to do it, like
somewhere
a
where it
different.
is
Yes,
legal?
I think
So okay. So
so.
I'm gonna just take the legal part out of it because I
Yes.
don't want to tell anyone to do something illegal. To me, honestly, I think meditation can get you the same results without ingesting an external drug, because you can have out of body experiences. You can have these experiences where you literally leave and have visions and all this stuff. Like that's happened to me on multiple occasions without any drugs, right? Just from meditation. And master meditators, they very often have out of body experiences. So I think having that experience is incredible. I just don't think you need ayahuasca to do it.
Good point. God, you're making me want to do meditation now.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like, seriously, you should go on drjoedispenza.com. Like, I'm telling you, it is the best advice I can give you for the rest of your life. Do his progressive online course. If you want to understand how what he does is different, there's a great movie. It's on, I think, Amazon and HBO and a bunch of other places. It's called The Source.
Okay.
Dr. Joe Dispenza, The Source. If you Google it, you can watch it. I'm pretty sure it's free or whatever. It kind of encapsulates what they do and how different it is from other meditation. And the science behind it is just mind blowing. There's a woman, John Hopkins University, very reputable place, who regrew a fully functioning thyroid,
Wow.
regrew her own thyroid. Like it is crazy in her
Wow.
body. She had cancer. She had thyroid cancer. They removed it in Johns Hopkins. She did the meditation practice with Dr. Joe, and under doctor care, they literally watched her regrow her own thyroid. So, I mean, the data is incredible. The science is incredible. And it's such a game changer. Like, there is nothing, honestly, that I could recommend more if you want to change yourself. Here's the thing, if you want to change your life, you have to change yourself. You can't be the same person in a new situation. Then it's the same situation. You can't just not carry your past with you. You can't carry your past self with you. You have to change yourself. And then everything around you changes. Not immediately, not overnight, step by step, but you feel it and you see it and you know that it's true. And it gives you so much confidence to do the next change because you've seen that the first change worked. So that is my biggest advice. If you want to have that otherworldly experience, and I think it is important to have those because our minds are capable of grasping things so far out of this 3D reality that we're in, right? We know that there's all of these waves that we can't see, right? There's theta waves, there's delta waves, there's gamma waves. You can't see them, but we know that they're there. And those can have impacts on your brain. And if you can create synchronicity and order, wild things can happen. So I do love that kind of experience. I have had out of body experiences that have been mind blowing. I mean, just like completely mind blowing, but I didn't ingest anything. I just meditated.
Wow.
So
Okay. It's on the list now. It's
there
happening.
you go. You gotta do it,
Gotta
dude. I'm
do it.
serious. Game changer.
Okay.
I like in one of them, I mean, obviously, we'll wait and see if it happens. But I mean, I've had things that were like I meditated something, and then 3 days later, it happened identically to what I saw, like identical. And I, you know, I don't know if it's manifestation where I'm just literally manifesting that into existence, which is very possible. I have no idea how it exactly works because the science is slowly. I don't say things unless I hear someone scientifically prove it to me, right? But the science is really extraordinary, and uh, I've only been doing it now since, I guess, the beginning of 2023. So it's been like 2.5 years that I've been meditating. But I meditate on average between 2 and 3 hours a day.
What? That long?
Yep.
Wait, in the morning or at night?
I do between an hour and an hour and a half in the
Oh,
morning. I don't sleep much, so I'm up at 5 a.m. generally, 4:35 a.m. So somewhere between 4:30 and 5, I do an hour and a half. I get up at 6:30 and start my day. And then before I go to sleep, if I'm super tired, I'll just do 30 minutes, and then we've got 2 hours. If I'm a little less tired, I'll do an hour and a half. And so it's between 2 and 3 hours a day.
wow. That is a goal to really work toward.
Game changer. It just feels so good. It doesn't feel like a chore. It's not like, okay, now I have to meditate. You just feel so strong, so powerful, so in control. You know, as much as we feel out of control in the outside world because you definitely don't invite a car accident or whatever, being in control of your own emotions, when you feel stressed, knowing that you can feel not stressed and you can stop that, that power feels amazing. Amazing. You feel in control. I'm in control of my body. I'm in control of my emotions. If I don't want to be stressed, I choose not to be stressed. If I don't want to be afraid, I choose not to be afraid. So I love it because every time I have a hard day, and I've had lots of hard days, at the end of the day, I close my eyes and I go into a world where none of that exists. And when I come back to this world, I feel better. I feel good. I can close my eyes and not stress. And it really is a game changer. It's a massive, extraordinary game changer.
Oh, okay. I'm doing it. Okay, couple more. Ditching your social media for 30 days to fully reset.
I honestly don't go on social media very often.
Really?
I know. I shouldn't say that out loud, probably. I don't have time. Like when I love TV, I love watching TV. To me, that is my relaxation. I like because I need a story. I like going out of my own story into someone else's story. I get very involved in it, but I want a fully fledged story. I don't want something that's 30 seconds long. I don't I like TV more than movies because a TV show can flesh out the characters more fully. So if I'd rather watch 10 hours of something than an hour and a half, a minute and a half for me doesn't really do much. So I have a social media manager that manages my social media because obviously for my business it's very important. I almost never go on. I'm
That's the dream.
If I spend five, I don't even think I spend 5 minutes a day on social media. I really don't. The only time I go on social media is when my kids tell me, Ema, you have to see this or that, or someone I would say the one thing I do is every week, once a week, I go through my DMs.
Oh yeah. What do the DMs look like? Are they like all over the place? Yeah.
Interesting. All over the place. I have people from as far away as Australia, New Zealand, and Africa sharing their stories with me, which I love so much. And that's really the only time I go on social media is to read people's DMs because some of them are just, they give me courage, they give me strength, they remind me that there's a global sisterhood and that what I do can affect others and what they do can affect me. When I'm very down, or it's been a particularly hard day, or Silvio's gotten away with X, Y, and Z, and I'm just like, why is this still happening to me? Stuff like that. I go and I remind myself that there's people with way worse problems than I have, people who are struggling and suffering, who can't feed their children, and we're all talking to each other, and that community is wonderful. So when I do spend time on social media, it's mostly with my DMs. I do, of course, get wackadoo DMs as well, like you know, you're old and ugly. Why are you wearing mini skirts? I get those too. That's fine. Okay. I just kind of skip over those. But, I just choose to focus on the positive. So there's just so many millions of women who have left me the most extraordinary stories and unbelievable messages. And I really love them. I don't know them, but I love them.
Mhm. Absolutely. And your last one is using your 40s and 50s as your rebellion years.
It should be
Yeah.
iconic. Let's make it
Let's
iconic.
make it iconic. That's what we're
Let's
doing.
make it
Yes,
iconic.
yes, yes. I'm in it. I'm in it. Oh, Julia, thank you so much. You're so amazing to chat with every time. I love
You're
it.
amazing.
Love it.
I'm so happy for what you did. And
Thank you.
basically what you've done is what we're talking about.
Aw,
You left a cushy job and a very successful one that you'd done incredible things in,
mm,
and you started this podcast. You went into the unknown.
yeah. Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind that this will be an enormous success and will exceed all your expectations because you're a woman who believes and is not afraid of the unknown. And that, in the end, is all you need.
That's all you need. You're
The
so
rest will
right.
come.
You're so
The
right.
rest will come.
Yes. Well, on that note, we are going to take over. We're charging the world and it's happening. So,
Just let's do it.
oh, Julia, tell everybody where they
Yes.
can find you and when is the shapewear? When are the new pieces coming out? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Julia Hart on Instagram is just Julia Hart, and it's Body by Julia. Well, actually, let's make sure that I'm saying it correctly because that would suck. It's Body by Julia Hart. So it's Body by Julia Hart. And we will have clothing that has your shapewear and your bra built inside by October 1st. So in a few
Ooh,
weeks. Yeah, in a few weeks.
just in time for the holidays. We love
Here we
that.
go.
And September
Here we
12th,
go.
September 12th, that is the day of freedom.
Please, God.
It will happen. It will happen.
I hope so. I hope we don't
Oh,
need another day. And also, I hope the judge, I mean, these judges are so overworked. I mean, they really are. This man's schedule is really difficult. I can't, I mean,
yeah.
it's hard. Um, so, but I'm really hoping because of the severity of the things that have been done, that it gets written up quickly and that I can start my life again.
Yes. And just move on and have that Studio 54 party. That's got
Let's
to
go
happen.
dancing.
Yes, for
Right.
sure. For sure. Well, thank you so much, my friend.
All right, beautiful. Great speaking to you. Take kiss.
If this episode lit a fire under you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And if you want more unfiltered, unapologetic conversations about redefining midlife on your own terms, make sure you follow the Iconic Midlife wherever you listen to podcasts. While you're there, rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you're listening right now. Your words help us reach more women who deserve to hear these conversations. Unfiltered, unapologetic, and built for a midlife that doesn't ask for permission.